that works. I think that works. Okay. All right.
In action. Okay, welcome back, guys, to my channel.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone for a minute, but that's very explanatory. This is more of a sit down and talk video. I know I've been gone for a minute, but that is tomorrow's conversation. But today's video is going to be what a year of celibacy has taught me. Now, I know this is not a conversation topic for everybody. Very understood. I know this is somewhat of a religious term. I could even post a definition right here, but I'm gonna be coming from more of a spiritual standpoint and my own personal beliefs on why I chose to remain abstinent from sex until I fucking feel like it. This is the video on how it's been a year celibate and what that's taught me. You can't really abstain from something that you don't really know about or know the power of. So I became aware of sexual energy around the age of 17, 18. I immediately realized that it's very much the power and leader of many things that's kind of unnoticed, unsubconsciously, and unrecognized in today's society, which is why I'm making this video. But let's backtrack. Let's just backtrack all the way to my household as a child, and my mom always kept it very 100 with me, and that's the one thing I can give to her. She was a great mentor throughout my childhood, growing up into my teenage years. She always spoke on things that she learned from past experiences, and one of the main phrases that I take from her till this day, straightforward like this: don't let no man fuck on you. Don't let no man fuck on you. Granted, that was all I needed, but she grew up in a group home and she was a single mother, financial struggle. So she was giving me the basic rundown from a very raw and independent experience of herself. She literally had a story each time on like girls sitting in bathtubs and how they used to call it getting burnt and like how they had to seize off bubbles, and I was like, yo, this is, mind you, this is like 11-year-old me, like this is what sex does. What the fuck? So I was good. I was really good. Even from that standpoint, I knew that lovemaking, sex, whatever you wanted to call it, made a baby. It made a baby. That's what happened at the end of whatever. It made a baby. And at one point, that baby was me. Mind you, I have this all written out. I'm gonna be cutting out like when I look down and all that stuff, but I wanted to make sure I had a clear rundown on this video and what I was gonna say. But let's fast forward. I'm a Libra, love unity, in a home and all that stuff. So I always just knew from an early standpoint, when my parents did choose to separate, I was like, so there's no like paper that y'all stay together. Like I was mad, but younger me didn't really understand why they chose to do what they did at that time. So that's not what I'm getting into. That's not what this video is about. But just always knew there needed to be a little bit more of value put into something that reproduced a whole soul, a whole living organism, So that's the younger version of me's perspective on sex. As I got older, and as you guys may wonder, I started my sexual experiences at 17 years old. For some that may be young, for some that may be old, genuinely I don't really care. I can go into that whole scenario, which would strengthen my reasoning on why you should really focus on self, but that is here nor there. Here nor there. And now that I think back at it, even at the age of 17, I was so malnourished in my idea on what I thought I knew. I do dream of going back sometimes, but everything does happen for a reason, which I'm very, powerful in beliefs on. Everything does happen for a reason. Personally, I do feel all women should grow into their legal years before they start experiencing sexually, but here nor there, like I said, that is everyone's personal preference. But after that said partner, at the age of 17, I never really imagined saying this out loud, but I was looking for someone to settle down with. I knew that exchanging such a powerful moment that I used to have with that person, I was like, I can't be like, this takes a lot of energy within itself, so I can't be. And that was for me personally. All this is from personal experience, my own personal stories. I was just, when I first, it really just messed with me mentally. And I do think part of that is from age. I do think part of that is from the person I mess with, experience, all that within one another. But when you do let someone into your more intimate spaces, you are allowing them to see more of yourself, to see you in and out, the flow of character in and out, the foreplay, all of it. It's very interconnected, and you're kind of exchanging such energies that are rare with another person. So when the whole act is over, it's done, even fully clothed, you kind of feel a little more naked around that person, a little more revealed. Now, referencing back to myself, ever since I was a child, I knew I was pretty special, and this just is me tooting my own horn. It's okay, you can do it too. I feel everybody is special in their own way, like 100%. I am the same as you, you are the same as me. I knew I had a lot to give at the age of 17. I did notice a shift though within myself at that age as well. But that light that I seen as a child, how special I felt, that same exact word, I kind of felt that that light needed to be turned on by somebody else, that I was kind of unsubconsciously seeking validation outward after the age of 17, and that may have all just so happened to happen at that age. That's probably a transferring year for a lot of people, but for me, it so happened to be when I was experiencing all my sexual energy and everything that was happening at that time. So like I said, everything happens for a reason, perfect timing, but it was just such a realization, like such an epiphany. That's the best way I can explain exchanging sexual energy and the benefits and sometimes disbenefits that can happen after sharing yourself with somebody, because it could definitely be a positive thing. Like, sex is a great magical thing. Don't ever let that sentence itself go away. But ever since that shift, I have been trying to get back to myself. The only way I knew or thought to do that was celibacy, was detaching myself from the idea that I needed somebody else, or the idea that I needed validation from somebody else, or the idea that I was supposed to mirror perfectly what I wanted at that time through someone else. Like, someone was supposed to give me everything that I felt I needed to succeed, when really you do always and only need yourself, and whoever you choose to share within that time should just enhance whatever you feel within yourself. And most times I feel as humans, we don't notice that our minds are naturally led off of community, and community comes from companionship, and companionship comes from passion. So with passion comes sex, not always, but our minds are fully constructed on finding and maintaining that feeling, community, compassion, passion, companionship, sex, all of that. So when you find yourself finding that in one person, you will unsubconsciously think about them every day, night and day, and that's okay. That's fine. So yeah, when there is someone in your current space, you know, giving you sex, which basically encompasses all of what I just spoke about, yeah, you're night and day. It's giving night and day. Your own personal sexual energy is a powerful thing, but I do want you to know that you have to really have discernment in that field and really know who you're sharing yourself with in order to create that beautiful, compassionate experience that we all deserve, because we do deserve. This video is not about saying sex is a bad thing. Have sex, have a lot of sex, it's great, but have discernment in sex. That's what the community needs right now. So when I caught myself in that fog of just wanting all of that at a young age, disregarding all of my own personal traumas and childhood experience and things I had to heal from, I cut it off completely. I was like, yeah, this is not what I need. It was there, now it's not. I'm good. And I knew that I didn't continuously needed, but I did search for it in different areas, and I got the same response out of it, and it was a very quick 1-2 kind of thing, and then I was just out the game. I was just like, yeah, this is not for me in that time range. And not that everybody has to cut it off completely, because I'm a different breed. And 2, I had to prove that I am my own source. I am, if you know, you know. Where the book? Because if you know, you know. So I needed to prove that I could rely on myself for most things, and one of those things for a minute had to be sexual validation, simply because it was new, it was brand. It was almost like a high at one point, and I just felt like I needed it, and I was disregarding all of my passions, all of the things I loved. And mind you, along with that, I was fresh out of college. This is later down the line, so I'm like, I need to focus on other things. We gotta focus on other shit. So I do remember going further down the line, there were a few men that I chose to share myself with, but that was 1 and 5 in between, and that was from the age of 17 to now. So I feel I did exquisite, if you ask me. But I remember being at the job that I have now, and I was with these 2 co-workers. We were literally just separating colored straws at the time, because at the time we had colored straws. We don't anymore. If you know, you know. I remember speaking with them, and it was nothing I ever said out loud. It was kind of just practices within my own mind that I was doing. And at that point, it was like about a year that I haven't had any sexual, just nothing at all. I was definitely just thriving off of my own self and experiences and enhancing my workouts. It's, because you do have to let out those energies elsewhere and form them into different things. I was speaking with these 2 coworkers, and they was like, celibacy, like, I could never do that. And I never said it aloud that that's what it was, but when you're abstaining from sex, that's what it is. Celibacy. Yes, I'm celibate, don't fuck me. I was speaking to them, and I was just separating the straw, and I said that, like, it's not always a bad thing once you realize that that's not something that's a pivotal factor in your life, and you're not gonna die without it. I was like, there's other pivotal factors in my life that I might die without, like money, or like housing, or like food. So I just started ranging out, and I was like, I started my business celibate. I reconnected with my mom celibate. I saved bread celibate, a lot of bread, simply because I wasn't outside as much. I didn't have the eager to just be anywhere but with my own presence and with myself, and I really needed that at the time. And I feel it elevated my mind, my subconscious, to a whole nother level that just is comforting now, is rewarding now, and it's very certain. I wasn't always certain, and my intuition wasn't always to a T, but I feel like now that my energies are fully confined and I have boundaries now, things are just so much clearer. Say this to say, celibacy does not mean forever. It doesn't mean unless you put a ring on it, you're not it. You know what I'm saying? Celibacy for me was just creating boundaries and writing them down. I realized that at the age of 17, I was messing with multiple men simply because I didn't know what I wanted. And yeah, that's a good trial and error experience, but I'm not a trial and error experience kind of bitch. I kind of just want to sit down, and I want to be a woman who knows what I want. So what did I do? I wrote down what I wanted, and it's right here if I can find it. But I wrote this list like about 2-3 years ago. This is just the binder. This is the book that I used when I dropped out of college, and I had a whole bunch, so I just started journaling. I didn't put a date on this, but my handwriting's even old, so I just kind of wrote down everything that I wanted in a man, and sometimes quite literally that's what you have to do. So my assignment to you today, right now, is to write down what you want. And if you can't really find or don't really have too many pinpoints, I want you to look up the qualities you see in yourself that you want to see in another person one day. Start there, and then write down more. I want a rich man. Then you could get to all the extra materialistic shit that you would like to see in a man. But celibacy for me was holding out until it literally felt right. And my right was a man who cared and catered. My right was a man who genuinely worked to know my person and not just my body, because yes, I'm a very voluptuous 5'10" woman, 5'11" on some days. And I've always learned that I can't shy away from the attention because I'm just very tall. My energy is very large. My aura is very big. So people will see me. And sometimes that's all people really want to see is just me. That's one of my rights, is a man that wants to know the depth within me and not just my body. And my right was someone who values friendship. If you don't value friendship, I honestly don't know, because for so long I've been in and out of many close relationships, and now I just have many acquaintances and a few close friends. I genuinely am looking for someone that values friendship, because if you do not value friendship, you are not a friend to yourself. That's a quote that I say very often. And my right also was someone with discipline. I want somebody that doesn't care genuinely when's the next time they will have sex, and that should be okay. Someone with discipline and someone who puts themselves first. My right also was someone with work ethic and someone with a schedule. If you have too much time on your hands, I don't know. I genuinely don't know, because I work 6 to 7 days a week, so I need someone within that same time range, or just someone who's occupying their time in a valuable way. My last right is someone who shows effort. In today's day and age, effort is liking a story. In today's day and age, effort is DMing. In today's day and age, effort is a good morning text. My effort is so much deeper than anything having to do with this phone. This phone is for money purposes. This phone is for connection purposes. Other than that, it's not getting much deeper. So I like effort and someone who puts in effort. And ever since I've made my rights as to the qualities it takes in order to have my body, things have been very shallow in the dating pool season. But now that I am ready to get back in the dating scene, I hope that a man will meet all of my rights so that we could have a blissful, sexual, energetically filled, and positive relationship. And I hope that was the goal of this video. I hope that you guys got some information out of this video, and I helped you to at least further experience it within yourself, your own sexual energy, and how valuable that is. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below anything else that you would like to see, any other journey that you would like me to dip into. I'm more than happy to speak. This is actually very comfortable. This couch is very comfy. Also, I manifested this couch. If you want to see how I did that, please comment below. I think that's going to be the next one, because life's just been great lately. But I hope your life is great as well. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.